He's out here, and who better to play than the guy that just beat the guy that played last? Like,
sure.
In a best of 7. Here he is. He's Protoss. He's up against True. Of course, True, very good in the matchup as well, but I feel like Classic, definitely a master of this matchup. I really like the pick. We all agreed on it before, and we're going to see another great game. I'm really excited.
What is scary, on the other hand, is that True recently beat Zest, showing that he's actually quite good in high-pressure situations against really good Protosses. And, everyone's wondering, what kind of a game is he going to bring here against Classic?
He had like a really beautiful game against Rune as well here in the last game that they played here in round 4. He just took that guy apart on Sage Zone Station. He played amazingly. So definitely really, really good in ZVP.
Very good in ZVP, but we haven't seen too much of Classic since the GSL Finals, so I'm wondering how he's, where he's at, how he's performing right now, but I'm obviously incredible PVZ, best of 1. I think he would have definitely been training to deal with Zergs in this matchup, in this tournament, because, I mean, he's so good at it.
Well, ever since he was in the finals, he knew he was also in the finals of this, so he'd constantly be focusing on Zerg, like straight up, only focusing on that matchup right now in-house. He's got a lot of good Zergs, like his teammate, to practice with, so I'm feeling like this is going to be an excellent match. Both of these players very well versed in the matchup. Classic more known for it. Classic, a GSL champion, going up against True here, who actually got quite far in the GSL himself. Certainly shaping up to be an excellent match here. We're going into game number 3 right here, right now on Overgrowth. See you guys inside.
Down here in the bottom left in the orange for SK Telecom, it's Classic.
And up to the top, right in green for Jenner Green Wings, it's True. Taking a very important ZVZ win off of Sue in the earlier game. Getting those Baneling hits he really needed.
So their names are Suin, and Semi.
Semi?
Yep.
Semi, yeah. That's interesting.
Interesting names.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, it's different. I've never heard that name before.
Yeah. They're basically like Cheer With Us for dinner.
Okay.
I think I know, like...
Are they, maybe the stage names.
I think they're real names.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe. I don't know. I know, like, 2 Sammys.
Okay.
Suin, though?
Suin, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a few of those as well. I've heard both names.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they're not common names. There's definitely not a Suji or Sujong.
Yeah.
No offense to
Sun
Sujong
Hyung
or just saying, pretty common name. Not a Steven, but anyways, Gate first here, and with the drone scout, True not leaving anything up to chance here. We'll come in and also identify the gateway. And by the way, Moonlight, I wanted to ask you this for a while, and forgive me if I asked before. I always wonder, is the drone gas steal still viable? Because we don't see it anymore. And if not, why?
I don't think so really anymore. I mean, Protoss can still expand off 1 gas, and they can get a Zealot out pretty quickly to deal with it. So they don't really fall behind in gas that much. So it's not really that viable anymore. It can kind of get shut down, especially if it's a gateway build. I mean, it's just you just get the Zealot out so quickly.
Sure.
Maybe with the Forge build, I guess you could maybe do it, but even then, like, it's not going to do that much because obviously your natural is up pretty fast, so you can catch up with gas really quickly. So that's pretty much why we don't see it much anymore. Oh, and we're seeing a Forge. We're going to see a Zealot Forge.
Yeah.
And
okay, so how this works, guys, is usually the Zealot protects the cannons and you start cannon pushing a little bit. We've seen builds like this in the past. Players like Haz are really famous for doing stuff like this without Zealots, but usually how this works is the Zealot kind of pushes with the cannons, and you can actually hold the cannons using that Zealot alone, especially at the third base, because if you want to pull drones, you have to pull so many of them, it's not going to be worth it, and it just delays the third base.
Yeah.
He actually hasn't started that hatchery. He's got just enough minerals. There it goes.
Well, what happened was, because that drone scouted the forge, he's like, okay, it's not going to work. I'm going to bait out at the spawning pool, delay the third base really for a long time, and kind of just buy enough time for me to put down my Nexus and kind of catch up in economy. So a nice little mind game there, though. I kind of feel like Classic got the short end of that. Because
Yeah, for sure. The forge is now somewhat useless.
well, he canceled it, so he's lost minerals, and he chrono boosted out Zealots, which are not going to be that useful. So he's kind of behind because he got scouted out like that. It was really smart to bring the drone back in for True.
Yeah.
Just showing how much experience he has in the matchup.
I didn't even catch that cancel on the forge, so yeah, it's kind of annoying.
It's a lot of tricky play. This Overlord, kind of a bit of a dangerous situation there, sitting
very
over
deep
over a Cybercore. It's like, well, he could make a Stalker and kill you at any time.
That Cybernetics core is actually like the view of that. It's like I'm looking at the thing that allows him to make units that kill me. I probably should leave.
But still no Stalker. Just making 2 gates at the front and making a sentry, in fact.
In his defense, he also saw the gate was not producing.
That's true. That's true. He could actually get out of there even if it was chrono boosted. So yeah, he wasn't in too much danger. It's nice to hang around for a while. Don't want to forget about it though. You will lose an Overlord.
He seems really concerned about whether or not the Mothership core is going to come out. He's got that Zerling Force on the left side. He's also checking for pylons there.
Yeah. Really, really nice scouting out of True, actually. Has Zerglings all over the map. He's checked the bottom right now, and he checked the top left as well, and both sides. So he has a full vision of the entire map right now.
Yeah, he's checked every location the Watchtowers don't cover.
It's actually beautiful. Beautiful to get it out there this quickly and have complete map vision, kind of scout everywhere a probe could be. I mean, it's one of the ways that you will die as a Zerg. If there's a pylon on the map and you're simply not ready to be making army units yet, you can die just instantly.
Yeah.
So very, very careful play by True, which he needs against someone like Classic.
Even like besides the Zerglings, very active with his Overlords as well. Like even sending that one in, well, he knew he had like a small window of time while the Sentry was attacking the other one. He brought this guy in and tried to see if there were any hidden buildings down there in the left of the natural. Didn't see anything though.
We're seeing a lot of sentries made, which leads me to believe we're going to see a reasonably fast third base, considering we don't see any other attack on the map so far. And I think we're going to see a +1 pretty quickly due to that Forge coming out soon too.
Yep. He's going to actually try to snipe this Overlord here using the Mothership core for vision. Sentries get pretty exposed with this, but I don't think he's too concerned. That fast third base will be placed here. He needs to kill the Overlord first. Okay. Zealot still on duty. Oh, moves out, but there's way too many sentries here. He's totally fine. Roach Warren in a lair, back at home, and I'm actually a little bit surprised that Classic goes with this style. I was expecting him to go Stargate here on this map.
I kind of like this style a lot there. It gives him room to do whatever he wants, except pretty much Stargate at this point. Like, obviously there's going to be no harassment, but he can go into a timing, considering he's made so many sentries, because he hasn't invested gas in anything else. He's got this incredible sentry count that's going to have so many force fields, so if he goes to an Immortal Blink Stalker, a Pure Blink Stalker, or even Colossus, like, he can do anything from here.
This is so funny to watch. He's bringing like 10 sentries across the map right now. Just trying to put on pressure.
And it's working. Look how many Zerglings coming out. Look how many Roaches. Like, this is completely unnecessary considering it's just sentries. You could just make them kind of like run away just by like having like 10 Zerglings.
Yeah, it's I think really he's terrified that maybe he missed a pylon because he doesn't have that much coverage on the right or the left side of the map anymore, and with those sentries out there. So I think he's kind of like, oh god, what if it's actually a big attack? He's gonna warp in a bunch of Zealots and Stalkers with it. He didn't see a Mothership core with it. I think that was kind of telling that it was that he was gonna have to move back soon. So I think that's where he kind of cut. But he's actually making 18 more Zerglings. An attack on the third base, I don't think will be very successful at this state.
No. He's got a nice SimCity over there. He's got a lot of buildings, 3 gateways coming up, and so many sentries to force field there for protection as well. I think it should be just fine. Gets the Twilight Council himself. He starts Blink, and he's also going to use that for the +2 attack, probably right after.
I think we're actually going to see, I think it's going to be a Stalker Blink timing with +2, and from the Zerg, from True, we're going to see kind of like this minor sort of Roach count with a lot of Zerglings, pressure into Muta straight away. He's gassing, he's saving all his gas up, he's waiting for that Spire, getting the 4th base, creep spreading and kind of keeping map control, trying to find out exactly what Classic is doing. And I mean, Classic's doing a great build. He can kind of counterattack very early on if he sees the Muta switch too early. Like, he can actually just walk across the map with Mass Blink Stalker and deal with it. So True has to be very careful and has to be on the map. and has to be ready to counter-attack at any point.
Yeah. Nice little tight wall here. He's reinforced there at the last second, and True decides not to commit his Zerglings there. I think with the Nexus cannon down and all those cannons and the units that were coming back, it's a smart idea. Scouts the Spire, goes double Stargate. Not going to be doing the all-in, really, that you were talking about earlier in the Moonblade. He's just going to play it safe. He could pressure a little bit, maybe, but that threat of the counterattack is so annoying. He's got to stay home. And then, meanwhile, it is actually happening there at the third base. You can see our observers highlighting all the extra gas that he's mining for those Mutalisks. Not a ton of damage done here, but forces the Protoss again to stay at home while he banks up those Mutas.
Yeah, it's so annoying to deal with this right now for Classic. He's just forced to stay at home, be super defensive, while True takes 2 bases, takes all the gas in the world, makes a ton of Mutas. It's going to start being all over the map with the Mutas as well. Of course, Classic getting those 2 Stargates, he's going to have Phoenixes of his own for defense, but still going to tax his multitasking, rather.
Yeah, and he's completely out of position, but this is going to do like way too much damage. There's no Phoenix on the map so
he
far.
can even unpower those cannons maybe, or unpower those Phoenixes maybe, but with the cannon and all these Stalkers that blink in, he does have to retreat.
We're going to see timing right now.
Here we go. We've seen this win games before. Can True hold? He needs to drop some force fields. They're non-existent. There they go at the last second there. And actually the wall with the gateways helping him out a little bit as well. But there's so many Mutalisks here. If he loses those Stalkers, that's going to be game. The tight wall here on those force fields, and even now having the wall here with the pylon is helping him out so much right now. The micro is good, but it looks like True just has an overwhelming amount of ground units.
He has so many Zerglings right now. He's surrounded all the stuff on the ground. The Mutas are still alive. All the Phoenixes flying in and being picked off. They don't quite go down, but still not really microed, and he's still got so much stuff on the ground that he has to deal with as well.
Oh, picking up units with the Phoenixes as well, putting him at a high risk of losing those. Looks like triple the supply here for True. True making waves, man. This is what I was talking about. So, you know, you want to send out a great PvZ player here, but True, man, he's really good at ZVP himself.
This is why he beat Zest. He is so smart, so good at this matchup. That was a brilliant timing attack because Classic went for Blink Stalker. He massed Zergling constantly while he was Muta harassing and just went for it before the switch could actually happen in the Phoenix. A very, very tight timing and a beautiful timing at that.
So smart. So smart. He just played amazing there. And he gave the camera a little wag. He's like, no, you don't send out a Protoss against me. What are you doing? Of course, over here, the Janair member,
Yep.
I guess we can call her. Pretty high
Could
up,
be one
I
of
would
those
assume.
spokespeople, I guess.
Yeah.
Definitely a fan of Janair. Well, now what?
Now what indeed? Well, we got to look at the next map so we know for sure exactly what's happening. I mean, it's going to be King Sejong Station. Wow, okay. This
Well,
is also a great map for True.
Yeah, I don't think that one's going to Protoss out this time. I feel like it could be time for Soulkey.
I think so too.
I think that's the answer. He's not going to play as greedy. He's going to make it last longer in his ZVZ. His ZVZ is great as well, as long as he's not playing against Shine.
Yeah.
I don't think he can play parting another Protoss like you just said, and I think we're going to see Soulkey. That'd be my guess.
Soulkey would be a great idea. I mean, I'm sure he's I don't know if he's going to be the kind of like the ZVZ sniper. He could be. I mean, looking at the we got Rain still. Rain could also be a good choice. I mean, King Sejong is not horrible for Protoss at all whatsoever. Like, we could definitely still see a Protoss on this map. But I mean, against True destroying Classic like that, I don't know if they really want to.
Yeah.
And I mean, Soulkey would be a good idea. I don't see a Terran coming out. I'm gonna have to say, yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be Soulkey at this point.
Yeah. I'm feeling Soulkey, man. I mean, there are a few other choices. You know, they could send Parting out. I mean, he's had some success on this map, but I just feel like he's not really in shape compared to Soulkey right now, and you don't